Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about the price action that we've seen come here out of Bitcoin over the last 24 hours or so, because as you can see, Bitcoin over the last couple of days has been trading just above $3,500 and just below previous resistance, or previous support, current resistance, at $3,575 and some change. But over the last couple of hours, we can see that Bitcoin has started to move up in a dramatic way after seeing a very large wick come down here and break support. Now, this is definitely a question that we want to answer because what it looks like is that the market can't really decide whether the bulls are in control or the bears are in control. So in today's video, we're going to be trying to decipher who is the stronger faction, the bulls or the bears, and talk about which direction Bitcoin is going to be moving here coming over the next couple of days. Anyway, guys, before we get into today's video, I do want to ask you to go ahead and drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the video. We do make crypto videos every single day, and I wouldn't want you to miss any of them. So now, without much further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Bitcoin is currently trading around $3,560, just a little bit down from where it was a couple of hours ago. We actually did manage to break this resistance on the wick level. If we come here to the minute chart, we can see we double topped up here at $3,580, just a little bit above the level of resistance we were looking at. But interestingly enough, this morning we actually saw a major sell-off. We saw Bitcoin was trading here around $3,500, and we sold off all the way down here to around $3,420. But the interesting thing that we need to look at here is the fact that Bitcoin sold off very quickly. We lost quite a bit of valuation, considering we're on the minute chart here. We lost about 2.5% valuation on Bitcoin in the span of 3 minutes. But the important thing to note here is that the bulls very quickly were able to come in and defend this level of support. Now, this did happen earlier on in the morning. This started at about 6:37 Eastern Standard Time this morning, so the vast majority of America was asleep during this, but the bulls were still able to manage to come in and bounce Bitcoin back up above this level of support and actually continue that momentum into upwards momentum. As you can see, we kind of have this parabola coming up here where Bitcoin bounced very quickly and then is starting to get stronger resistance here. There are several different things we can look at and discern from this kind of movement. One of which is that Bitcoin currently finds itself in a trading channel in between its previous level of support at $3,575 and the current level of support at $3,500 or so. We see that Bitcoin is in a trading channel, and we also see that Bitcoin did come up here and test this level of resistance earlier on, and we're currently seemingly rejecting from it. So later on in the video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not we're going to be able to get back up above that level of support, or if our current level of support down here at $3,500 is going to be breached. But before I do that, I do want to go ahead and jump over to CoinMarketCap and talk about that for a little bit, do the crypto market recap. There's some things we want to discuss here. Namely, I should say, is that Bitcoin is up by about 1/3% over the last 24 hours. That is mainly from this upwards movement over the last 3 to 4 hours or so. Bitcoin does have a daily volume of around $5 billion. If we check here, we're going to see that volume did pick up earlier on today when we saw this massive sell-off, and volume has gradually been climbing today. It's definitely been higher today than it has over the last couple of days. XRP is still sitting in the number 2 position, and if we sort by change over the last 24 hours here, we're going to see 6 double-digit gainers in Ravencoin, VeChain, Chainlink, Mixin, Factom, and Loopring. And if we scroll down, we'll also see that the vast majority of the market, probably about 60 to 65 cryptocurrencies, so not necessarily the vast majority of the market, but a large portion of the market is in the green. Definitely a good sign, especially considering Bitcoin has bounced. We like to see when the altcoins go with Bitcoin. We see Dentacoin, Apollo Currency, and 10x are down by over 10%. Apollo Currency was going to the moon. Now it's on its return voyage, just coming back home because it's down 23%. I think that's about as far as that pun needs to go before it gets killed. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump back on into the TA here and talk about what's going to happen here over the next couple of days here on Bitcoin. The first thing I want to look at is actually the short and the longs chart. So if we come out here to the 4-hour chart, on the shorts chart, what we're going to see is that the shorts have actually been declining here over the last couple of hours. Really, in the last 24 hours or so, Bitcoin shorts have been declining. As you can see, we're on the 4-hour chart. I'll show you on the day chart that over the last day or so, Bitcoin shorts have been declining quite substantially, and Bitcoin longs have as well. Now, what that typically means, and longs have declined quite a bit more than Bitcoin shorts have. What that typically means is that volatility and volume and overall retail and consumer and institutional interest in the market is declining. What that normally means is that volatility is going down, and those other things that are typically correlated with volatility, like I said, such as volume, are going to be declining. And that is very typical of Bitcoin being in a tight trading channel. We see that the trading channel is right here. We see our level of resistance up here and our level of support right here, both two very important levels. Bitcoin isn't a trading channel. And like I said, when you see that happen, typically you see shorts and longs fall off because people are exiting the market on both their short positions and their long positions. And that's definitely indicative of a trading channel. But the thing we want to talk about here is what's going to happen with this trading channel, because Bitcoin very well may trade here sideways for the next couple of days. It may trade sideways for the next couple of months. But more likely than not, we're probably going to see Bitcoin break either resistance up here in the next couple of days or break support down here in the next couple of days. So which is it going to be? Well, this kind of builds on what we were talking about earlier on in the video, where we saw Bitcoin come down here and try to break this level of support of $3,500 earlier. We saw an attempt. Bitcoin did have an attempt. There was an attempt, as you might say, for Bitcoin to come down here and break this level of support. And even in the wee hours of the morning, when many traders were not awake, we did manage to see that the bulls were able to hold and bounce the market back up above that level of support. So not very long ago, about 4 hours ago, about 7 hours before you're watching this video, if you're watching it during the premiere, not very long ago, Bitcoin did try to break $3,500 and it was unable to. And what I see a lot of times in markets is that when you see a level of support or a level of resistance try to be broken and then it can't be broken, if you only see that happen once, I'm not talking about like up here where we saw this level try to break 10 or 20 times. We saw Bitcoin come up here and test this level over and over and over and over again. We did eventually reject. What I'm talking about is if you see a level come down here and be tested once and then not be tested again for quite some time, we can see a good example of that in $6,000 back over here in Bitcoin on the longer term time scales. We see that Bitcoin came down here and tested these levels once, twice, 3 or 4 times in here, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Bitcoin came down and tested it, and it wasn't able to break it. So what that meant is that Bitcoin was about to move to the upside. It meant that the bulls were in control, and it meant that for at least that short period of time following that test, Bitcoin was safe. And I think we can apply that to the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart here as well. The fact that Bitcoin came down here and had such a very powerful and decisive bearish test of $3,500. This was a very, very powerful breakout that we would have expected normally. My technical analysis probably would have expected that Bitcoin would have actually broken that and not bounced so strongly there. All of this is indicative that we're probably not going to see another test of this level for quite some time. And by quite some time, I mean in the next 24 to 48 hours. We're on the minute chart, so that does constitute as quite some time. We're probably not going to see another test of this level for quite some time. And if we do, there's a pretty good chance it's probably going to hold. Now, that being said, Bitcoin also did just try to break this level of resistance up here, but we weren't able to get through it. But the interesting thing that you note is that these were not as strong breakouts as we saw over here. This was a very major breakout. These were not that powerful. So this breakout, these two failed breakouts up here are not really as indicative of something as this failed breakout was. And after we saw a rejection here anyway, Bitcoin is still trading only about $15 below that level of resistance. I know I'm getting pretty technical. I'm getting into the minute chart, but I'm trying to make my point here that I think what Bitcoin is going to do over the next couple of days is that Bitcoin is either going to trade sideways in this trading channel, and I think there's a pretty decent chance that we're going to see a bullish breakout above $3,575, at least based on the technical analysis that we can do over the last 6 to 12 hours or so. Now, of course, these things change very quickly, so what I'm saying tomorrow might be different because we are talking about very, very small time frames. If I were to make this video in 12 hours, it might change. And like I've said in many videos, that's not because I'm being inconsistent. That's because these markets move very quickly and things change very quickly. And even one day of price action, when you're looking at the minute chart, can substantially change the direction of the market. So guys, I know this is a shorter video, but I've been trying to be more concise in the videos. I've been trying to get straight to the point and give you guys the content that you want in a more concise packet, so that you guys can really get your information and move on to your trading and do your own technical analysis. I always recommend you guys do your own technical analysis. Since I'm on the topic, I will do it again. Make sure you're always doing your own technical analysis before you go and make any trades. Of course, watch my videos, watch everybody else's videos on YouTube. That's perfectly fine. I do recommend that as well. But always make sure you're doing your own technical analysis before you jump in and start doing trading, investing, or anything else in the market that involves the potential risk of you losing or making money. And with that in mind, talking about the importance of doing technical analysis, I was not able to upload a video yesterday, guys. I apologize. I've been very, very busy lately. I've been starting a new business, so that's been taking a lot of time. But with that said, I was going to do a Martin Luther King Day sale for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy yesterday, and I didn't make a video, so I didn't do the sale. But the sale, because I do value that holiday, is going to be going on today and through the rest of tomorrow. So instead of it being a 24-hour sale, it's going to be a 48-hour sale starting as soon as I finish recording this video, and it'll be going live around the time that this premiere is launching. And that sale will be going on until midnight Eastern Standard Time, the 23rd of January. So if you guys want to get into the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, there's a 20% off code in the description down below. It'll probably be MLK Day 2019. Check that code, put it in the coupon code checkout. You get 20% off. If you guys are interested in learning about how to do technical analysis on markets and you want to learn how to analyze these markets and understand these markets so that you're able to more effectively trade them, more effectively invest in them, and more effectively do what you do in markets, which is try to make money in them, I do highly recommend this Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, guys. We have over 6 hours of content down below, and I do think you're going to get every single penny of your valuation out of that course. I really did put my heart and soul into it, and the hundreds of people that have gone through it have all told me how much they love it and how glad they are to be there. So if you guys are interested, check out the link in the description down below. Again, that's MLK Day 2019. That coupon code will give you 20% off on the course price. But anyway, guys, that is basically going to do it for today's video. If you guys have any ideas for what you'd like me to do here on the channel in the future, I'm probably going to be doing a video on the stock market pretty soon. Like I said, I've been very, very busy, and those stock market videos take quite a lot of preparation. But if you have any more ideas about what you might like to see for the longer term timescales on Bitcoin or anything in general, feel free to tell me in the comments section down below. Anyway, guys, that is basically going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.